Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another special guest with me. If you saw my previous video on preteen makeup, you will have met her daughter, Providence. And I wanted to do a video on busy mom makeup. And since I am not a mom myself, I thought about my wonderful friend Debbie, who is the epitome of a busy mom, and invited her to join me. And so I'm so happy that she was willing to do this. We're going to be doing a quick and easy day look for her to help her feel put together even though she rises and shines really early in the morning. These are a few steps she can do to pull herself together, and then I'm going to show her a couple of easy steps to take that day look to a date night look. So without further ado, let's meet Debbie. Okay, so one of the most important things when you're a busy mom, need to get out the door, is multitasking products. So the first one we're going to use on Debbie is this IT Cosmetics CC Cream. It has your SPF 50, it has moisturizers, anti-aging products, and it has really good coverage that lasts all day. So I'm going to apply this on Debbie with a brush, but it works really great by you can use your fingers to rub it in. That's a real quick way to do it in the morning. A brush is just going to give me a little more control. But as you can see, we're going to do half of her face. And Debbie has some really nice natural rosiness to her cheeks, but she doesn't always want that to stand out. So this cancels out redness. And because it's anti-aging, it's really good for the skin. And you want to make sure you blend it down, even though you don't have a lot of time. You're going to blend it down to the neck. And you can take it, I don't take it all the way under the eye, just up to the under eye area. And so there we go. Okay, so we have, turn towards, so we've got half. You can see she looks more one color on this side, and then this side we've got more redness, so we're going to do the other side too. Okay, so now you can see we've got her skin tone all evened out. Don't worry, we're going to add a little bit of color back in. So the next thing, if you're in a hurry, you want to apply your eye primer next to let it have time to set up. Close your eyes. We're going to use the Mary Kay eye primer on her. Oops, a little below. And you want to blend this from lash all the way up to your brow. Okay, so now we've got your primer on. So while that is drying, I'm going to add just a little bit. We're going to fill in your brows just a touch. So daytime, and I know you said you don't have a lot of good lighting where you get ready in the morning, so we're not going to do anything too crazy. We're just going to add just a tiny little bit of some color and make your brows just a little bit fuller here. So your day starts at 4:30 in the morning, and what is that like?
Sometimes. Well, I get up at 4:30 so that I can get things done before the kids wake up. So I usually start by reading my Bible, and then checking email and getting a load of wash done. And then I try to go outside and go walking for 30 to 40 minutes just to get some exercise. And at that point, the little ones are awake.
And how little?
I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Wow, busy.
Yes. Very.
And then, like we said, you have 4 other children that are ages
9, 11, 13, and 15.
Wow. So, folks, truly a busy mom. So you have to get up early as the Proverbs 31 woman to get your household in order before everybody starts waking up.
Yes, it definitely makes a difference. And when I don't, I feel behind the rest of the day. But I'm inconsistent. I'm working on that.
If I were to get up at 4:30 just once a week, that would be quite a miracle. Okay, so open, and let's just see. So we just added just a little bit of shape to the brows. So just following her natural curve of her brows, but just filled them in and then brushed them through. And you can see that just kind of gives you just a little more definition over your eye. Okay, so after we get her brows set, we're going to go in with a little bit of concealer. We're going to do a little bit of this Tarte CC corrector under her eye. Now this is really good for for anti-aging properties, and it just color corrects before we add concealer. And again, we're in a hurry, so we're just going to take our pinky and just going to dab it into the corner of the eye. Okay, so to blend that in, these little sponges are by Real Techniques. They come in a duo, and you want a wet one. This will be your friend forever, and then keep one dry, and I'll show you why we're going to keep that dry. But we're just going to take that little sponge and we're just going to dab in the inner corner, and the moisture from the water, that wet sponge, just helps that sink into the skin and picks up any excess product. So already she's looking much more bright and wide awake, even though it's super early still in the morning. And then we're gonna take just a tiny little bit. This is Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer from Tarte. And so by putting that corrector down, we're gonna use this now just to conceal and make her under eyes look bright, wide awake. Now Debbie also, in addition to her duties as a mom of 6 children, you also homeschool.
Yes.
So, and how many days a week are you doing schooling?
I usually do 4 days a week, and then we attend a co-op on Fridays with other homeschool families.
So not only is she mom all day, she's teacher all day too. What would you say is the hardest part about homeschooling?
I think homeschooling multiple ages is challenging, and multiple children. They all have different learning needs and just different levels that they're at. So it takes lots of structure and time to figure out how that best works.
And Debbie is so good about structure and scheduling, and she's learned the secrets of how to keep kids out of trouble, and the secret is they don't let them get bored, right?
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
Kids like boundaries, even though they'll never vocalize that. They like structure.
And you have 6 children, and 3 of which are adopted.
Our 9-year-old Selah is from Guatemala, and
Look up.
we adopted her. We brought her home when she was 7 months old.
Wow.
Our 3-year-old Sawyer is a local adoption. And then we have a 2-year-old who is from Michigan.
Wow. So truly near, far, and very far away. So
That's right.
I just think it's wonderful. Debbie and her husband have such a heart for adoption, and definitely are wonderful parents. So
Thank you.
these children are blessed to be with you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to take just a tiny little bit of powder to set that concealer so it doesn't continue to crease during the daytime. So this is the RCMA loose powder. ELF also has a great loose powder. Look up. And we don't want to go crazy. So folks, we're at the age where we don't need to be baking our under eye because we just want to set that powder in place. And if you use a damp beauty sponge, it will keep it from getting too dry and cakey. All right, so now we're gonna start. We're gonna do just a tiny little bit on the eyes. Remember folks, we're in a hurry. We've got 2- and 3-year-olds about ready to wake up. So the first thing we're gonna do is take a creamy eyeshadow and just set down her primer. And I'm using Debbie's shadows today. We're gonna use, I think this is Brulee from MAC. And we're just gonna take a flat shader brush and put this all over the eyelid, and it's just going to help take away the tackiness from the primer. And what is, would you say, the most fun, greatest enjoyment of being able to homeschool?
I think learning right alongside my kids has been fun, as well as just tailoring their education so that they benefit the most from it. And just having them around, even though it's a lot of work, I enjoy being with them all day long.
Spoken by a true loving mother. Okay, next we're going to take an eyeliner. Now, you don't have a lot of time to be real precise of putting a straight line across your eyes. So what we're going to do is my trick of smudging. So we're just going to create a couple of dots along the lash line. Doesn't need to be precise, and you don't want to extend any further than the eye. And then we're going to take a pencil brush or a blending brush if you have a some type of soft bristle brush, and we're just going to blend that into the lashes and up just a little bit. Open. So that gives her just a little bit of definition, and we can add, close. We'll add just a little bit extra right here along the outer half of her lashes. So just a few dots. Do you usually do liner in the morning?
Yeah, I do.
Good, so I'm not like creating extra work for you. Yeah, if you don't have good lighting, it's hard to tell if you've gotten it straight or what's going on. Okay, so we did a little bit of smudged eyeliner, and the key for that is, again, it keeps you from having to worry about a straight line. If you don't have a lot of good lighting, you don't have to worry. Okay, so then we talked about doing multitasking products to help this be quicker. This is the e.l.f. bronzer palette. So we're going to use this to add a little bit of color and dimension to her face, but we're also going to use a mix of these two in the crease of her eye as her eyeshadow. So you can obviously use an eyeshadow, mid-tone brown works, close, but by using this, you only have to open one palette in the morning, and we're just going to add a little quick dimension in the crease of the eye. And then I'm going to take just a small brush. You can go in with the liner brush that we were using to smudge, but we're just going to set that liner down. Okay, now we're going to go on the lid. I'm going to take a combination of just these two shades on the lid just to give her a little bit of brightness. The inner corner all the way about halfway over. Just a little bit of that combination right up under the eyebrow. Just lifts the eye just like. And now we're going to take a big fluffy brush. Let's see, I'm going to use this one. This one's from BH Cosmetics, and we're going to take a combination of those two bronzer shades. We're going to add just a little dimension to her face. So you can brush this right under the cheekbones towards the hairline. And then we're going to just brush a little bit of this along the hairline because we evened out the color, evened out her skin tone. So we're just going to add a little bit of dimension back to her face. And I think nice, warm, bronzy colors really help kind of wake you up, make you look like you're ready to go, even if you're not feeling it sometimes. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean you like to get up at 4:30 in the morning, does it?
No.
Now, in addition to adopting 3 children, you guys have also started a really exciting venture, and it is an adoption foundation. Is that right?
Yes, it is. It's called the Grafting Tree, and it's to help families adopt, to help them financially. It's a matching grant situation. And as much as we'd love to adopt all of the children of the world, we can't. And so this enables us to feel like we're still helping with the needs of orphans, but allowing other families to also take part in adopting.
That's so great. And you guys, do you have a website too?
We
or
do.
you have one that's coming? It's in the works. Okay.
Google the grafting tree.
Well, if it's up, I'll link it below this video. So if you guys are interested, you can check that out. But I know it will be coming. So if it's not up there now, it will be coming. So I'm going to use just a touch of this rose blush. We're just going to use a tiny little bit. Debbie has a lot of natural color anyway to her cheeks, but we're going to help it kind of look a little more evened out with this little bit of blush. Okay, so now she's almost done. We're going to add just a little bit of mascara, and I'm going to let Debbie curl her lashes. So if you've got time, curl your lashes. And then we are going to do a primer and mascara just on the top lashes. So this is another way to save some time in the morning. Just do your top lashes. Just a quick coat of this. And if you don't have time, that's okay. You can skip the primer. Because we've got a date coming up tonight, we're going to do a little bit of prep work so we don't have to do as much to get ready for our date tonight. And then you do not have to wait for that to dry. Okay, so if you are really pressed for time, just do the mascara on the top lash line. If you've got an extra 30 seconds, you can throw some mascara on those bottom lashes. So look up. We'll pretend that we've got an extra 30 seconds, that the youngest two are not out of bed yet. So you can quickly throw on just a little bit. Don't have to do any primer down here. So last will be lips. Now it is a good thing, and what Debbie loves to do is a long wearing lipstick because you don't have time for touch-ups during the day. So this is her favorite. This is the Revlon Color Stay Overtime Lip Color. And
Everlasting Rum.
Everlasting Rum. She knows it well. So I'm going to let you apply some of that on your lips. This is our finished day look, and we just asked her daughter Providence what she thought. She said she looks like she's a little more put together, like she's ready to go out somewhere. So that's good. So we accomplished this. Obviously we took a little bit of extra time doing it here, but I think those are pretty quick and simple steps. What do you think? Do you think that was pretty doable?
Yes.
And you don't feel like it's too much that you have to be real precise. So the key, I think, is using the bronzer as your eyeshadow and your cheek color to smudge out your eyeliner, and then to use a one-step product like the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. Now, if you didn't want quite as much coverage, Debbie also uses the Vitazing by Origins. This also is a great product, but it's very sheer coverage. So if you really don't want any coverage, it tones your face just a little bit, so it does provide just a little tint. But the IT Cosmetics cream, since she's going out tonight, we gave her just a little bit of extra coverage. Also, if you're an oily skin girl, you may powder just a little bit through your T-zone, but Debbie's more on the drier side, so I don't think she'll need any powder through the day. Okay, so this is our daytime look, and now on to the nighttime look.